So this is the first hole at Stover, 550 yards off the back tees, par 5. This is the view from the tee. Want to keep the drive sort of just inside that bunker on the right hand side ideally to give you the best line of hitting onto the green in 2 shots. I've decided to hit driver and try and keep it slightly left, little fade off those trees back into the middle of the fairway. Toe strike has just meant the ball has drifted to the left into those trees, but that's probably the best miss on this hole because it was out of bounds up the right hand side. This is the view from the fairway, just having a little look at the green. Decided to hit a little 7-iron over those trees. It's got a massive firm first bounce, which means it will just run through the fairway. It's quite a narrow section that you're actually landing the ball into, so make sure you have a good look at what line you're trying to hit. So here I am just coming out of the right hand rough. I've only got 60 yards, which is quite an awkward little shot for me. Again, like I said, I'm probably too close to the green, so I'm just trying to play a hands and armsy shot, which I've hit a little bit full, and it's landed towards the back of the green and got a firm bounce, meaning I've gone over the green. An awkward first putt here. I've got a slope which is probably like 3 or 4 foot short of the hole, but I've got to make sure I get the ball to that slope to allow it to sort of trickle down to the hole, but it needs to be dead weight as the ball roll a good 5-6 foot past. Hit a really good putt here. It's just drifted off to my left. You're right as you look, but that should be a safe par on the first. For anyone who's played Stover, this is the old third green. Not too much to worry about here. Just a nice sort of firm straight putt, which I've converted for my par, which is a decent start. The second hole at Stover is 307 yard par 4. You want to hit your tee shot down the right hand side. The fairway slopes a little bit left to right as well, so anything short right, avoiding those bunkers is ideal. Just hit a little 4-iron, just drawing it back from the bunkers into the slope, which will leave me perfectly in the middle of the fairway, probably round about 100 yards into the pin. Probably one of the easiest pins on the actual green. It's dead centre in the middle. Ideally you want to be right at the pin to leave yourself an uphill putt. I've gone straight at it. With the green sloping left to right, that should leave me a nice makeable uphill putt. I've read this almost dead straight. It may drift from right to left, but only fractionally. All uphill, so you can give this a good run at the hole. I've hit a decent putt here. It's gone in the right edge. It's a good birdie and I'm 1 under par after 2 holes. The third hole is 401 yard par 4 up the hill. Out of bounds down the left and water and a hedge down the right. Just hit it over the edge of the far tree with a little fade. It's going to be perfect there, right in the middle of the fairway. It does really favour a little left to right shape around the corner. So this is what I'm faced with, a well-guarded green, bunker scattered down the left and 1 on the right. This is a 2-tier green as well, so it's important to get it on the right level. Hit a good wedge up here, just left of the pin. Should catch a bit of the surface of the green and leave myself a putt for a birdie. So I'm left with quite a lengthy birdie putt down the hill, sloping a little bit from left to right, but I'm really concentrating on getting the pace and getting the ball to the hole. Statistically, I'm more likely to 3-putt than 1-putt this, so like I said, let's get the pace right. If it drops, it drops. I hit a really good putt here. It's now breaking to the right and it's just going to come up a tad short, but that's a good par on that hole, and that's a good start on probably the easiest score in 9. Fourth hole, 148 yard par 3. The pin today is relatively central on the green. You do have a slope from the right hand side, so if you do miss it right, it will move back. Decided to hit 8-iron. It's straight into the wind. I've absolutely trapped this and it's flown, and I'm telling it now to get down. It lands on the back of the green, probably landed a good 10 yards too long, but managed to stay on the back edge. So tricky putt again down the slope. This is very quick. Once you get it to the top of the slope, we're going to make sure you get it there, which I've done. I'm now just letting the weight of the ball roll down the slope. Nearly went in, always a little bit left, but again leaving myself quite a comfortable 2-putt. Just tapping this one in now for par, and we stay under par for the round. A par 5 that wraps its way around the water, you can just see on the left hand side. Hit your drive sort of right side of the fairway as we're looking now to give yourself a realistic chance of knocking it on in 2. The miss is right, not left, and this is going to be a really intimidating drive when those trees on the right grow up. Decided to hit 5 wood, tried to draw it, left it out there right. We missed it right, as we said. It's not going to be too bad where we've missed it. The lie made it impossible to go for the green, and I was probably just on my limit of hitting 5 wood. Decided to just lay it up with an iron, get myself back into position, hit an 8 iron to hopefully run down the fairway and leave myself a good pitch and a chance at a birdie. So I've been told it's quite bouncy, this one, so I'm going to try and land it short of the green, let it hop onto the playing surface, and hopefully it runs up towards the pin, give me a birdie opportunity. I've hit this exactly where I was trying to land it, but I've landed it in the upslope where it's quite soft. It's just killed any momentum, and it's come up on the front edge of the green. Should really have actually had a bit of confidence and landed it on the green. So here I'm just going to hit it out to the right. It swings right to left. I'm going to give it a little bit more break than what it needs, because I don't want it to go left of the pin and start running away to leave an awkward length putt. I've hit a decent putt up here, which I'm pleased about. It's now breaking to the hole. The speed's good. Should secure a par, but there's a hole really that you're looking to birdie. I've read this as absolutely dead straight, so I'm just concentrating on making a decent stroke. Not hitting it too hard either. Just trust the line and get the pace right and just roll it into the centre of the cup, which I've done and got my par. The 6th hole is stroke index 1 and the hardest hole on the course according to the card. It requires a straight drive. You've got some trees on the right and left. Better probably to be left because you can fire at the green. Chosen 5 wood. I'm going to hit this out to the right and try and draw the ball into the middle of the fairway. Probably my best tee shot of the day, this one. It's literally straight down the middle and should leave me sort of a mid-iron into the green and a good chance of a birdie. Stover is all about hitting fairways, and I hit 3 out of 4 so far. Back nine's a little bit tighter. Chosen 8 iron here, and I'm going straight at the pin. Pin's on the left-hand side towards the back of the green. Hit a decent strike here. It looks like it's all over the pin, but it comes up a fraction short, and it's going to leave me an awkward putt. May have been better actually hitting a little 7 iron into the wind. Here I am on the front of the green. Up the hill to start with and then down towards the hole. But again, got to get it the pace right and get the ball to the top of that hill to let the hill do the rest of the work. Not quite hit this. It was a little slower up the hill than I thought. And the ball has drifted to the right and lacked pace. So I've left myself an awkward sort of 6.5 foot. As I'm looking, it's going to break from left to right. I've read this as left edge and just let the ball feed to the hole. Hit what I thought was a good putt, but it's broke a lot more than I thought, and that is a disappointing 3 putt and a bogey, which takes me back to level par. So this was an original hole, the 7th, but they've cleared out a few of the trees and opened it up slightly. This is the view from the tee. There's a bunker garden on the left. There's also one on the right, and it's quite a small target, similar to the postage stamp. The green is sort of wider than it is longer, so I've chosen a gap wedge. It's slightly downwind as well. This is on my limit, so I know I need to hit a decent one to get it there. Really good strike here. I'm really pleased with it. I think that's going to be sort of pin high and give myself a good putt. Unfortunately, the ball's landed towards the back of the green, but because I've struck it okay, it's managed to grab a bit of the surface. Again, I've decided to putt this, although I'm off the green. Just again, really working on getting that weight correct. I'm going to hit it just outside my right, left as you look down the camera. I've hit a good putt for weight. It's not broke at all, actually, and it's probably tried to drift the other way, but because the weight is right, it's going to leave me a relatively easy tap in for my par. I decided pretty early on that there wasn't a lot of break in these putts, and I was looking for break that wasn't there. So I'm just hitting most of these putts, especially inside 5 foot, almost dead straight, and just really concentrating on making a decent stroke, which I've done there. So par. So we're still level par after 7 holes. So par 5 here, which again reachable in 2, but you've got water down the right hand side, trees down the left, out of bounds down the right too, and water up by the green. So it's a tricky, or it can be a tricky hole. I've decided to hit 2 iron. In the tournament I hit 5 wood both times, mainly because I could carry those trees. Although here I've split the fairway perfectly. The 2 iron, I didn't actually have enough elevation to clear those trees. and that is why we have a practice round. So I found the right hand rough, but it's a decent lie. Wind's off my left shoulder, but I've decided to lay this up. So I'm going to make sure I hit enough club to get past that water. So if I don't get it or push it, I'll have enough to carry it. But then I'm making sure I lay up short of that left-hand trap. Hit a really good shot, and I probably could have got to the green if I'd have actually hit a little bit more club, because it was almost like a runway. The ball's landed and bounced forward, and I've actually hit that 199 yards. So my third shot, again similar to the other par 5, I'm just trying to land this a little bit short and hop it up there. I played it a little bit lower, I played the gap wedge instead of the lob wedge, thinking this would bounce. Again, I've landed it on that fringe, which tended to be softer than the fairway, and it's come up a fraction short. Although I'm missing greens, I'm managing to get the putter on them, and I'm only just off the green. So again, safest option, grab the putter, up the hill, pin towards the back. Going to hit this slightly to the right. I didn't. I've actually hit a bit of a pull, but thankfully it didn't break as much as I'd anticipated. Left myself a little awkward putt for the par. Not really taking advantage of these par 5s, which is important to do in a tournament or on this front 9. So again, really concentrating on making a decent stroke. Going to hit this dead centre, get the pace right, get my par and get onto the 9th. Hit a decent putt there. It's gone into sort of my left side of the hole, and we've walked off a par. So here is the 9th hole. This is a new hole. Water down the left-hand side. Also, there's a little stream down the right. This fairway is very fiery, and you're playing over a ditch as well. So I'm going to try and leave myself about 100 yards. I've hit 6-iron. Hit it really good. Absolutely perfect. The ball's landed and run forward. Again, maybe a little bit closer than I would want. In the tournament, I hit a lot less club off that tee. So looking at this, on the left-hand side, you've got a big pond. The ball does kick as well. Anything left will end up in that water. There's a big bunk on the right as well, so it's important to get the right distance with your second shot here. Got just under 100 yards, a little bit of wind into. I've picked out my 54. This club goes 110, so I know it's just a smooth one of these. I'm going to hit it fractionally left of the pin, into the sort of more into the centre of the green, and hopefully the ball will feed to the hole. I've hit a really good strike here. Sawn off follow through. The ball is just sort of moving a little bit left to right towards the pin, and it's landed just past the pin high. So good opportunity for birdie here. Not very far this putt, sort of 6 foot. It's down the hill. It's reasonably quick. I can't see a lot of break in it either. So I'm just again going to try and hit this almost dead centre. And that's Stover front 9 covered. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit that subscribe button and look out for part 2.